CR Nuts Motorsports. My name's Ken. In this episode, Bad Kitty has a lot of little details that need to be taken care of. And I'm just going to start on the project. Certainly not going to finish it. But I got a little list going, so we're going to try to knock off a few and we'll move on from there. Thanks for coming. Hope your projects are going well. Hey, this is Ken. Real quickly, what happened, I finally found out after a conversation with Autometer, and the light bell went off, shall we say. Original older cars used non-linear fuel sending units, and they had to have a non-linear fuel gauge. This is a direct replacement for a 67 Cougar. This is the proper gauge, and it's a non-linear gauge. When I switched to the Holley in-tank fuel pump and sending unit, that is a linear unit. And linear is this. Let's just say for hypothetical, it's supposed to be 0 to a 90. 0 is empty and 90 is full. 45 would be the correct for a linear gauge, halfway in between. So you start at 90 full, 45 half tank, 0 is empty. In a non-linear gauge, it's a curve. So it may be start at 90 for a full tank and maybe 70 for a half a tank and 0 for empty. And if you notice on this gauge, if you come up and get close to it, you'll see the half a tank is off center. It's not directly in the center. It is over to the full side. And that demonstrates it's a non-linear gauge. That's an easy way to tell first. So anyway, I'm going to put in this new gauge from Equus, and it is made by Autometer. It's their cheap Chinese knockoff, and it is a linear gauge, and you'll see the results. The other gauge is an Equus, and this comes from Speedway Motorsports out of Lincoln, Nebraska. It's a cheap Chinese, not made in the USA, that's for sure, but it's cheap. And I'm just using it to demonstrate that either the other gauge is correct or it's not correct. Because I know the tank is full, and I've bench tested the sending unit, and it goes through the full range. So now I'm going to put this on. I think it's going to read full. The new fuel gauge, the lights, I've got to put spades on them. So, easy enough to do. That's it. I put all my connectors, because I used to have it in a couple of different boxes, and so I decided to consolidate. Wasn't all that expensive, and it's kind of nice. Okay, we're going to put in the new Equus gauge that I got from Speedway. We're going to put that in. Should be pretty straightforward. Sorry about that. All right, let's see if it works. Bingo! So we're good. been focusing on taking care of loose ends, all these little things that need to be taken care of. So what I have now is the rear wheels. I got a vibration above 80. I'm not sure if it's tire, drive shaft, rear end. It's not a terrible vibration, but it's noticeable. And it just seems to be 80 miles an hour is the threshold. So I've done a couple things. I've taken both wheels off the back and I've painted the inside. I put in undercoating and painted the inside of the wheel wells. And at the same time, I pulled the brakes off. I readjusted the brakes and also checked the axle retaining clips to make sure that they were tight. Let's see if I can shine a little light in here. But anyway, just made it kind of all pretty. It was just something on my list to be done. So everything looks all nice and clean. So what I'm going to do is put the tire back on, drive around for a little bit, and then see if I got that vibration. And if I still have that vibration, which I think I do, then I'm going to pull the drive shaft and take it back and have it rebalanced. So it's just little things, but it's just going to take time. So let's put this back on. We'll move on to something else. As you can see, I got some tire rub coming from the driver's side right rear. Kind of nasty. And it's from the inner fender. And I had plenty I can grind off, so I ground it off and I put it on the passenger side. And the passenger side tire went back to the driver's side. So I'll keep an eye on that and see if it cured the problem, if I ground enough off. Hopefully I did. All right, I got one other thing on my list for today. Throttle return spring. I just found one I had in my spring box, shall we say. And it may do. I bought a proper one. Put a little light on the subject. There it is right there. Nothing pretty. But I did buy something I think was better. Take a look. This is out of their catalog. Worked great. All right, we have the Summit Racing throttle return spring. We're going to put it in. We've got 2 holes drilled. One goes there. Come here, puppy. 1, 2. Got it. Then that's it. Springs are installed. We're in good shape. That's going to wrap it up for today. Knock those 3 off the list and we'll move on next time we get a chance.